What's good, fucking YouTube family? We back in our reaction video. We got I'm Kevin with one of my favorite animes, Lycoris Recoil. It's amazing. First off, please go watch it. I think it's season 2 came out earlier this year, and I have to get on that. Gotta get on that. Lycoris Recoil is amazing. The opening and it's fire. Fire. Characters amazing. Gotta love Chitaso. Gotta love them. Everybody on that show was just I love all the characters on there. It was all villains included. It was all fire. But let me not ramble for too long, because he gonna break it down how good Lycoris Recoil is. Definitely go watch it. That's my suggestion to you. So with that being said, my boy channel gonna be linked down below. So long there's the video, make sure you go show some love, hit the sub button, all that good stuff. You know we gotta hit the likes. Oh my God. And we gotta make it, leave a like, make it full screen. Put them on game, Kev. Put them on game. The night of the radio tower incident. Man, oh my God. Chitaso!
This is Detective Barnes, 11:29 p.m., March 7th, Sumida Ward Holding Facility. Can you state your name for the record?
Badger.
Badger.
Are you sure we're alone in here?
Yes, the room is secure. Now, just tell me what happened at the radio tower.
I don't know what happened. Everything was fine. He was right next to me.
Who was?
I didn't even see him die.
Badger, listen.
No. I get it. This is my punishment.
Badger.
This is all my fault.
This is my
We should have
punishment.
never went there in the first place. We should have just stayed. What was that?
It's nothing, you're fine. Now, what happened with...
No.
Damn it.
No. It's here for me.
Badger.
It found me.
Badger,
It
relax.
found me.
Calm down.
Don't let it get me.
Badger.
Help.
Son of a...
Badger.
This is an official broadcast from the Department of Defense. A nationwide paranormal anomaly has been detected. For your safety, follow all instructions exactly as provided.
Warning. If you see a blonde girl wearing a red dress, be aware. It is not human. It will not approach unless it must.
She's
if she
a
sees
dog.
you doing wrong, it is already too late. She
Too
will
late.
follow. She will wait. She will decide. Remain still. Remain silent. Remain good. And
Pray.
Man.
Now, was that intro a little dramatic? No, not at all.
No,
I
not
didn't
at
know
all.
what I was getting into when watching the show. Like, when you see this cover, what do you think it's about? It looks pretty wholesome, right? A slice of life, maybe.
And then they-
I knew there was a twist, but what I wasn't expecting was schoolgirls pulling off John Wick level feats. This is actually some of the most fun I had watching a show in a while.
Man,
like
what-
within the first episode, you see some girl open her curtains to a bright and beautiful day, getting ready to head to work, talking about Japan is so wonderful. The people here are so kind and gentle. And this is when I knew we was gonna be in for a ride.
Yeah, bro
Look
got
at the
popped.
routes they're running. Shot him into the grass and has someone else confirmed the kill. And y'all let me know what happened here. Erased him from existence. What
Pushed him
weapon did
under-
they use
I
to
don't know.
accomplish that? Hollow purple? But real quick, how many of y'all like volleyball? Because today we have something special. High Q,
up?
fly high. My High Q fans out there, this is the perfect game for you.
Fly
We're talking an immersive
high.
3D experience. Every match will have that burst of energy from the serves, blocks, attacks, and even to the animation. And y'all know me. You know how I get when it comes to the animation. And this game really delivered. And that's saying a lot given the bar the Haikyuu anime set. It's nice to see how they not only put a lot of detail to
like
each
this,
spike, really putting you in that moment, but how they even remastered the iconic moves from the anime. From Hinata and Kageyama's quick attack, Kuro's blocks, to Okiyawa's jump serves, anything you can think of. Best part is you're in control. You're not just watching these moves, you're the one who makes them happen. And to make it even better, it is fully voiced by the original cast. You can even revisit some of your favorite moments with scenes recreated straight from the anime. But it doesn't stop there. Have you ever wanted to create your own dream team? Well, guess what? You can do just that. You can have players from all different schools on one team. So whatever fantasy lineup you can imagine, you can make it happen. And I like when games allow you to use your brain. You can switch your lineup in a way that counters the enemy, a way that better utilizes your setter, a way that counters relationships. There's a little strategy involved in this, but even off the court, there's plenty to do, whether it's building up your training base, expedition training, or even testing your knowledge with some Haikyuu trivia. Just a fun way to stay immersed in the world even outside the matches. Now, in excitement for the game's launch, they're hooking us up with some rewards. You can get up to 3 free SSR players through the in-game welcoming event. So with that being said, you can play now by scanning the QR code or by clicking the link in the description. And thank you again to Haikyuu Fly High for sponsoring this video. And keep in mind, the girl is still in my ear giving her speech. Erase, delete, destroy. All a part of the job. And speaking of job, of course that girl at the start, which her name is Chisato by the way, of course she wasn't heading to clock into our normal shift. She was called in to handle a hostage situation. One of our own is being held at gunpoint, and turns out the threat has a hacker on their side who cut the comms. And this girl says, well damn, we was ordered to stand by. What? Now for a little context, the man with the gun to her head is counting down from 10, so I can make an educated guess on what happens when he gets to 0. So you know what this girl does? Makes the tough call. Lets that shit fly. There's not an ounce of recoil. The gun is damn near bigger than her, and she's holding her ground perfectly. And if it works, it works. You can't get mad, right?
No. You could have killed Erica.
But I didn't.
She's still alive, isn't she?
Whoa, now.
Aye, you wanna act like that, but it would be wrong if she just... Cause you wanna start all this unnecessary violence. She's just trying to protect herself. But you know what's even crazier? The head of DA, which is a woman by the way, I thought she was a whole man, had this girl get transferred. And they keep saying, oh, she ignored orders. Like, excuse me, were we all not present in the situation? Did you wanna find out what happened when that countdown hit 0? Cause there's only 2 ways it could have turned out. Either he was bluffing and was never gonna shoot her, or he was in fact gonna shoot her, and guess what? When he did, you would have lit him up anyway. I think she solved the problem. But the place she ends up getting transferred to is this coffee shop where Chisato works at. Also found out black hair's name is Takana, but Chisato here is like the #1 soldier they have. That disaster on the radio tower was her.
She did.
The Lycoris who single-handedly protected the old radio tower. Everyone's heard the story.
But apparently, that mission they were on was to stop an arms deal. But there was nothing there. The guns disappeared. How many? According to intel, approximately 1,000. 1,000?
Wow.
What do you need 1,000 guns for? Niggas trying to supply an army? Okay. Now with that explanation, I kinda understand why they're upset with Takana. With everyone dead, they can't get any information on where the guns could be.
But, oh my god, Batman.
But for the time being, Chisato's taking her on her normal routes. Jobs she usually does. And I can already tell the type of person Takana is. She didn't even bother asking for context on this transaction. She just immediately assumed it was a drug deal. She was about to end that man's life over a bag of beans. Now the next job was to help this lady with her stalking problem. She said ever since she uploaded this photo, she's been getting stalked. But what Takana notices is that this flick is taken right in front of the building the arms deal was at. So the person who's stalking her is most likely the person who's involved with the deal. So Chisato was like, you know what? How about we stick together for the night?
Okay, let's go to my place.
What?
Now keep in mind, this lady has no clue that these girls are highly trained soldiers. These are just random schoolgirls the police told her to talk to. Look, I don't know your age, but I'm guessing it's old enough to have responsibilities.
Oh.
What are you
Or
doing
brain.
hanging with teenagers on a Wednesday night? You have work tomorrow. So Chisato
Literally.
dips out to grab some sleepover essentials. But that's when Takeda notices there's a van following them, so she tells Lady to go on ahead. Just allows her to get kidnapped, and look how she set this up.
Really?
She could have been shot at them, but purposely
Quite
waited for them
literally.
to turn the headlights
Aura.
on. And
That's
after
Aura, though.
seeing this, not gonna lie, I'm low-key on DA's side, because what was your plan? She's just airing the truck out with no regard for that lady's safety. You could have killed everyone
Takeda was
again
tripping in
and
the
left
first.
with
I ain't
no
gonna- she was
info on where
tripping
the
at
guns
first.
were at. So Chisato pulls up, told Takeda her ass is tweaking. You need to put more value in human life. So now she's gonna take the lead. There's a drone at her 7. Take it down without a silencer. She dodges a point-blank bullet, kicks the door in.
Yo,
Oh my god.
don't worry, he's not dead. Rubber bullets.
Value human life, you say? You just painted that nigga on the ground. 6 shots to his body. Ran to the back with a big smile on your face. Shot him a couple times, then tied him up. But this is when we figure out she uses non-lethal rounds.
Kind
Right.
of rubber bullets. They like,
Non-lethal rounds that can go through a metal door. Yeah, someone
yeah.
check his pulse. He might actually be dead.
and then she
He's a
popped him one more
stupid-ass
time,
guy.
though. I
They're lucky Chisato doesn't use live rounds, because someone who can dodge bullets and with no
And,
hesitation send
yo,
them
she
back
can-
is a nightmare. But remember
she
the
knows
hacker
what
in the
type of gun it
beginning?
is
Well,
by
we
the
get a
sound.
little
She's so
peek at their
tough.
employers, and it seems that he has some history with Chisato. But the hacker was like, hey, I have a question.
Chisato.
Why do you involve yourself in arms deals? So much for the saint of the Allen Institute. Guess even charity's got a price tag. Nigga always talk too much. And look who shows up at the shop. Not even
Yeah.
7 hours after vanquishing someone,
That boy looks
already
sick.
up and at it for a cup of joe.
He
But
looked
turns out the hacker
fatal.
wasn't dead. Their
Fatal.
name is Walnut. But he's talking to this other
Walnut.
hacker, and long story short, they're after the #1 hacker spot. So he sold out Walnut's apartment to get him gone. But that's when
But
Walnut
he
hit us up
didn't
for a
know.
job.
yes, sir.
Alright, so listen up. Our assignment is straightforward. Protect Walnut. We've received confirmed intel that armed hostiles have been spotted
Man, I
across the
love
city,
Lycoris Recoil,
equipped with
bro.
rifles. Let's take an educated guess and say they're a threat. Once you escort Walnut to Gate Hamada, you'll make contact with Mizuki and she'll take over from there. But of course,
They took over the car.
it wasn't gonna be that easy. That robot hacker wants Walnut dead. Took over the
Gone,
whole
bro.
car, and
Doing
see,
anything
that's
he
why we
can.
don't drive them Teslas. Not only are you driving
You
a
serious?
vacuum cleaner, you can turn the car on and not even know you turned the car on. But if Elon woke up one day and said, you know what? F y'all, sends out an
Literally.
update that blows up your batteries, well,
Yeah, then you gonna be
you're
mad.
owed. Anyways, Robot is trying to take them straight into the ocean. While Walnut is trying to regain control, they peep the drone following them outside. The only way to prevent Robot from hacking the car again, they gotta get rid of it. So the moment we got control back, Chisato shot out the window, Takena leans out. They somehow do a perfect barrel roll. I ain't seen not one seatbelt in that car. I know they hit their head hard as shit on that roof. And by the grace of plot, they barely made it. So obviously we need a change of plans. Unfortunately, they were followed, and that is one strong suitcase. I'm glad you picked out a titanium version. And why do goons in every show do this? They'll dump 3 mags and expect the 4th one to work. Like maybe,
Like,
just
you ain't
maybe,
hit.
move.
Just
Just
you ain't
change
hit
positions, bro. I
nothing.
swear it'll do wonders. But that's when Chisato leaps off the shelf,
Look at
pops
him, big
down about
dog.
3 times, and your awareness is terrible. Yo, homeboy
He's
got
still
hit
going.
3 times, and you're still standing there in the open, mag dumping.
Really?
It's pretty
Still,
much
just-
field day for Takena. Y'all are just firing practice at this point. But this is when Chisato became one of my favorite characters of all time.
Man,
so right
what?
now she's
Look how
working
she
on
get
flanking
crazy.
them
Look
when
how
she
she
ran
moves.
into this guy. So he pulls out a grenade. Mind you, they're like 15 feet away. I don't know what his plan was. I know
Yeah.
damn well he wasn't going to try to bank it between the door frame. But the moment she saw the grenade, she closed
Look how
the
she moved.
distance, smacked it into the other room, elbows the shooting arm. The tactics are there. Then proceeds to handle this grown man like a toddler, tossed him back into that room. That's when
Oh my,
Takena runs
what the
in.
plays?
Behind you.
Look at the
She just dodged every bullet out that fully automatic. With a straight face too. She just looks disappointed that you even attempted that. She then proceeds to walk him down.
Walk him
like
down.
3 times and hold on, can't waste a bullet. And me and you both talking to her. How do you even react to that? She then quickly handles the red hat guy, and once again, y'all are lucky she's nice. She went as far as to treat your wounds. But it's true what they say. A little kindness goes a long way. The guy told him not to go through that door. There's a drone watching. Lit his ass up, was a mile away, and somehow had the best accuracy we've seen so far.
Man.
Damn, it's hot in this shit. So that's when we found out this whole time it was Mizuki in the suit. And the actual Walnut was hiding in that suitcase. This little girl is Japan's best hacker. Anime. Well, everything worked out the way they wanted. Chisato and Takano wasn't informed on the actual plan, but the goal was to fake Walnut's death. Her former employer wasn't going to rest until she was dead, so she might as well let him think she was dead. Now, I know that paycheck hit. For you to get lit up by multiple assault rifles, the price gotta be at least 7 figures. But what I like most about this show is the interactions. When Mizuki showed Chisato the picture she took of her,
What is that? Ew!
Yeah.
Take this!
also, Walnut is now staying with them. But since Walnut is technically dead now, she can't go by that name. Her new name is Kurumi. But with Japan's best hacker on their side, they can find the guys in this photo pretty easily. But in the meantime, we gotta take a trip back to DA. Chisato has to get a physical to renew her license. And of course, Takano is coming along to try to talk her way back into DA. And there's really rumors going around saying she's a friend killer. First of all, that name don't even make sense. The girl is still alive. Matter of fact, she's right in front of him. Like, come on, if you're gonna call someone a name, at least have it make sense. But Takano wasn't given permission to speak with the head of DA, so she's just gotta
Just got a jet.
hang around for a while. Now, we do get some context on why she wants to be back in DA so bad. It's because all the girls here were orphans, and DA was the ones who raised them. So she was essentially ripped away from her
they was
parents.
eating good,
now, the
living
thing
good.
that pisses me off is that they really got a replacement.
Wow.
That's like when they try to replace Sasuke with Sai. Like, no,
Like, bro,
you
we
don't
don't
like
want that
nigga.
garbage.
And she was really playing all in Takana's face, talking about some, oh, do you get a kick out of shooting at friendlies? Like, bitch, if
Now, if I would have,
someone needs to beat your ass immediately. That's when everyone, including the head of DA, walks in the room, and she immediately shuts down Takana's dream of coming back.
You still don't get it? She's
And this bitch is still talking.
she just
No one asked for
yapping,
your
bro. Like, shut
input.
up.
Fake ass J's on your feet. And I rock with Chisato heavy because at every
Man,
chance
I
she
love
gets,
Big
she
Cheese.
stands for Takana. And you know what this girl says?
How about I make you understand by crushing you in a mock battle?
Finally,
You can't-
these two gotta get put in their place.
you can't do nothing with her.
So
That's the
Takana and
biggest
Chisato
dog
have
in
a
that
heart to
show.
heart saying, yeah, it hurts. Like the place you called home turned its back. Like your parents whispering they never loved you at all. But don't carry that weight like it's your fault. You didn't fall from grace. You leapt to save a life. And this pain you're feeling, it's not punishment for defiance. It's the cost of caring when others chose silence. Not gonna lie, let me hear some snaps I cook with that. But this is when we get a little more insight on what happened that day. Remember how I said the comms got hacked? Well, that should be impossible. They used the most powerful AI that contains all of DA's secrets, and the fact that it got hacked, they can't just go out and tell everyone the most powerful AI in the world was able to get hacked. So they
had the
decided to
scapegoat.
use Takana as a scapegoat, blamed it on her for why things went south. And Chisato was like, look on the bright side. If you never did what you did, we would have never met. And look at all these brown shirts laughing like, don't you got something better to do? Matter of fact, what rank are
she
y'all?
won't.
Y'all not
like,
even
both of
employed
them were
yet.
dogs.
Trigger warning. Get a job.
Literally.
And then you can talk. Anyways, Takana, I'm gonna go whoop those girls' asses. You can join if you like. And we have a crowd watching too. This is beautiful. So
Watch
they
my
run in,
girl
both
go
take
to
aim.
work.
You know bullets not touching Chisato, and as much as I don't want to compliment you, that move was tough. No more kind words for you the rest of the season though. So she breaks through the door, runs down whatever her name is, and thank you, Chisato. This is exactly what this girl needed.
the fear
to
on her
be made
face.
a fool out of.
Nuh-uh. You You shouldn't extend your arm at close range.
Stop playing with
You've
Chi.
already died twice.
Then proceeds to moonwalk bullets. Like, this is a 1v2, by the way. And don't let that smile fool you. Chisato may be a kind person, but if
she's
you
a killer for
personally
real.
piss her off, she will disrespect you. Cause imagine
Literally.
being in a gunfight and your opponent takes your gun and then gives it back.
She said you.
And then she gonna grab the gun and use all her ammo when she can clearly see the lady is dodging her shot. She said, you know what? Give me that shit. You don't deserve this.
Oh my-
Slide
look,
cancel
oh my
firing shots at the
dog.
other girl. Hit her real quick, reloads the gun and pop her ass. Hey, don't you ever punch me again.
Chisato is. Oh
Sorry, you know
my
what to do.
god.
Already head tapped her, but that wasn't enough. Had to light her ass up. And afterwards, Shorty is waiting around the corner, like, go wash your face or something. What do you want?
Chisato's
But she
so
was
tough,
like,
bro.
you know it was a mock battle. All you had to do was shoot me from behind. Punching me was stupid. Yeah, well, I wanted to.
Simple.
But I think one of the best parts of this show is how even though they're schoolgirl mercenaries, they still live a normal life. Cause they're really playing in VR doing backflips. And I promise the VR did not pick that up, by the way. All it looked like in the other side was you glitching out. But another factor I care about dearly is the fits. And they, well, Chisato
Stepping.
got that shit
Yeah,
on.
Chisato
Takana,
be stepping.
well, we're
She
working
had to-
on it.
they had to
But
build
the
her fit up.
flannel print in the back, nah, this fit is actually tough. They did go to the store and pick up something new for Takana, and low-key, I kind of rock with it. Now, we do also
if it's
find
her-
out why
her
Chisato
seed.
left DA. It's because she's looking for someone. Though the reason she wants to find this person is just to tell them thank you. Why exactly? We don't know yet, but she said it's been 10 years since she got that chain. I'd give up finding that guy, not gonna lie. Either you're not looking hard enough or they don't want to be found. But then it cuts to Teach
and it's
with this
definitely the
guy
second-
again. And they
the latter.
just confirmed that he is in fact the person Chisato has been looking for all this time. Now, obviously, she doesn't have a face to match with the person she's looking for, or she
Well,
would
she
have
just
been said something to
knows.
this guy. But turns out he's been breaking rules for even being near Chisato. His business forbids any further contact after helping someone. So his business, which is the Allen Institute, helped Chisato 10 years ago, and she's been looking for him ever since. But remember that photo they gave Kurumi? She is somehow able to VR herself into a photo. Like, what technology is this? How did you get angles
she
that
a
didn't
dog.
exist in the picture? Who made this?
She's a
Batman?
dog, bro.
But
She's
this
cold
green
with it.
hair guy, yeah, he's the mastermind. And then right after, we see him walking in a train tunnel with three guys, never mind, a whole fucking platoon. Was all y'all assigned a pillar to hide behind? But yeah, he's
got
about
a
to put
squad
those guns
with
he
him, and
brought
they
to
about-
use. Meanwhile, Chisato and Takana notice an awful lot of licorices posted around this area. So then we see a train pulling up and they got to firing. There is a special place in hell for you. He's trying to take out a train full of innocents. Now, luckily, DA was tipped off about this, so they were able to evacuate all the citizens and fill the train with our own. And y'all know how anime works. They'll somehow murk every single person there, but the
Except for
person
the
that
big
matters.
bag.
But as a precaution, he had explosions planted and escaped.
What?
And how bored can y'all be? Instead of going home, you rather wait here
Yeah,
and watch the law
yeah.
enforcement stand outside a building?
It makes no damn sense.
I don't know about y'all, but if a place got blown to smithereens,
I don't wanna
I'd
be
rather
nowhere
as
near
far
it.
away as possible from the site. You don't want to be standing there if the guy decided to spin back and finish the job. But Green Hair is the type of guy who just wants to be seen. So once he saw the news that the explosion he caused was covered up as an accident, he was confused. This was
He
all
got
DA's
pissed.
doing.
That pissed him off.
They're the ones who covered up your stunt. I'm Robota. I'll be lending you my services as the best
I
hacker
hated
in the
him.
world. If you want to take down the Lycoris, you'll need someone like me.
Yeah, hung up on bro.
Fuck was that about? Imagine hacking into someone's phone and giving them an end call button.
He just
Very
banged the line
considerate, I
on
guess. Anyways, we have another mission. Now, on paper, is nothing crazy. Really just taking this old man on a sightseeing tour. Now, of course, it's not that simple. A long time ago, this man's wife and kids got murked.
Of course.
So, you know,
Of course.
someone is most likely after him. And, well, why don't you look at that? There is.
He's
and
right
he's
there.
no amateur. He knew that Joan was following him. So, change of plans. Mizuki is going to have a car
Watch
waiting for them.
how
but
crazy
first he needs to
this
set up a
mission
new
gets.
drone.
Watch how crazy this
Well,
mission
scratch
gets.
that. Kurumi had a spare drone, but we don't have a spare Mizuki, so the car is a no-go. But what Mizuki did do is place a transmitter on his coat. He's behind you. Oh, shit. Alright, bro, spill the beans. Where'd you get vibranium from? No way that big ass coat is bulletproof and you're running full speed. Oh, Ninja Queen's alive, by the way. You just stuffed her in a random room. But like I said earlier, this guy's no amateur. Takana doing a full 180, he knew they must have been tracking him. Meanwhile, Chitaso is still with the old man. She turns away for 1 second to get informed on the situation, and the man vanished.
He
turned
just dips
around
off.
for literally a second, he was gone. She had to go on a whole marathon to find this guy. Like, what's in that wheelchair? A V8? Twin turbos? That nigga was in the wind.
Like, how he get outside that
rolled off
fast?
like that is because he knew what was going on. He knew exactly who was after him. This is the same man who took out his family. So he was ready to accept his fate.
Damn! Scared!
These are some very durable people, but Takana
Very.
dropped her gun, so all she can do is run. But Chisato ain't gonna let this happen. She jumps from
Look at the
who knows
biggest
where,
dog.
another building
Look at the
apparently,
biggest
but
dog.
she gets
Look
in
at the
close.
biggest
Puts the
dog.
entire barrel in this man's gut. Yeah, you're not walking
Open
that
up
off.
top, it's a
Expect
milk
intense
carton.
bowel movements for the next week. Kill him. That man took my family.
Kill
Please,
him.
you must end him for me. You're one of the Allen children, right? For what reason were you given that life?
I don't want to do it. I can't take someone else's life away.
And Chisato's no whole killing thing is cause since she was given another chance to live,
I love
thanks to
Chitaso,
the Allen
bro.
Institute,
She is a
she
dog.
doesn't want to take that right from anyone else.
Amazing
Even
person.
if the people she fights are bad, she doesn't want to be responsible for that. And then all of a sudden, the man just dies. Afterwards, he's talking with Teach as if everything is normal, like we wasn't just throwing bullets at each other, but he
Yeah.
tells him that a woman came up to him with a load of cash and told him to end that old man. He asks no questions, money is money. And if you
Yeah,
remember
she
from the
threw a bag.
beginning, this is the same lady who was in a car with this guy, which I gotta remember his name. It's Shinji. His name is Shinji.
Is
And I
it?
was trying to figure
Yeah.
out what reason would they have to get rid of that old man. He was already on limited time. The guy couldn't move his body at all. Shit, he was talking through an iPad. How much of a threat could he be? But that's
Even
until
August.
they ID'd him. Turns out this old man was a patient at a hospital who vanished 2 weeks ago. He was an end-of-life patient with drug addictions who couldn't move or talk at all. So Kurumi did some digging and told us that a third party was talking through the speakers. The goggles were cameras and the wheelchair
Yeah, he was
remote
already
control.
dead.
Then it cuts to Shinji and we see him giving the okay to use that old man's body. The only thing that makes sense to me is that Shinji is trying to push Chisato to start killing. Maybe
bro,
he
the
feels
old man
like
was already
Chisato
dead.
owes him. Like, I saved your life, so you should work for me. And this is when they tell us how her life was saved. By giving her a mechanical heart. That's all they told us so far. We cut to these guys, right? They just finished up some deal and wow, real conspicuous. There's not a soul on the street and you're walking directly behind them. There's no way you're up to something, right?
What?
Whoa, a gun? Craziest part is she gets ran over by a whole
Yeah, smack.
GTR. Nigga was not trying to be
Smack.
sneaky at all. A bright
Smack.
yellow Nissan GTR. The man just committed a federal crime like 2 days ago, by
Smack.
the way. Did not
Smack.
care to keep a low profile. But then the rest of his platoon arrives and
They
lit her up.
dump.
6 guns, no suppressors, all letting loose in the middle of the street. That sound
On a
is echoing
child.
across the city. All it takes is one person to call the police, and I promise it will be very easy to find you. Green hair, yellow GTR, ugly ass red Hawaii shirt. Not many people
Yeah,
would fit that description.
that
And
drip was
within the
trash.
next week, 4 more incidents just like this happened. And Lycorises all around were aware they're being targeted. So Takana decided to move in with Chisato for, safety. And
Safety,
she really had an apartment with a basement that leads to her actual
huge
apartment. But
basement,
real quick,
yeah.
they was playing rock, paper, scissors on who was going to do chores. And look how they say it.
Rock comes first. Rock, paper, scissors, go!
See,
Nope.
that's nasty. The
Yeah, that's
correct way
trash.
to say it is rock, paper, scissors says shoot. No other way is acceptable. Anyways,
Nah,
turns
say
out
how to say it is
Majima,
rock, paper,
aka
scissors,
Green
shoot.
Hair, is working with Robota. He informed them how DA are the ones covering up all these attacks. So now Majima's goal is to get rid of the DA. And Robota said he can
I'm
track
messing
down the
with Green Hair,
headquarters,
though.
which
Green
by
Hair
the
was
way he couldn't.
tough.
So what he does is figure out where Chisato lives, send 2 street level thugs like they were gonna do something, threw their ass out the window. So that's when Majima busts down his door, because at this point it's been over a month and he's yet to track down DA. DA. And what saved his life is the footage of Chisato running them dudes down. That got Majima's attention. He's thinking if she's the top Lycoris, she'll be a huge threat for when he goes after DA. So he posed the same stunt he did before and ran her over with a GTR. But before this happened, Kurumi was able to hack into DA's drone footage and seen that the 4 Lycorises Majima murked were all recently captured by this drone. And not only that, but Chisato was being targeted next.
Yeah, good luck getting my
throws the cloak up, literally pops the entire squad, and not gonna lie, she shook them boys. If it wasn't for Robotus, she would have been long gone. So he pulls up in his van, immediately gets shot off though. And I hate when stuff like this happens. Like, you have a gun. Why are we getting close enough to smell the man's cologne? It makes no sense. And they for real formed a circle so they can box it out, but the squad wasn't far behind. Kurumi sent the location. They'll be here in T-minus. Nah, they both hop in the car when this guy pulls out an RPG.
They don't play no games.
Smack dude with the drone, but look at this. Let's take a little quiz. Do you A, think he dies, B, think he dies, C, think he dies, or D, somehow fucking survives?
If you said A, B, or C,
you got your answer?
Yeah.
If you pick D, you're correct.
Huh? What?
Not a single scratch. Matter of fact, he looks better than he did before. Now, for a show where a girl can dodge bullets, hold a LMG without an ounce of recoil, a vibranium trench coat, you'll just add surviving a direct impact of an RPG to the list, right?
No!
But at least the first 3 is somewhat explainable. Like, if you told me those first 3 things happen in real life, I'd believe it way faster than surviving a direct RPG. Anyways, later on, they're talking and Robots has been doing some digging and found rumors of someone who used to use non-lethal bullets just like her a few years back. And when he mentioned the old radio tower, Majima was like, oh yeah, I'm the one who snapped it.
You serious?
Come to think of it, there was a single person who took us all down. Oh shit, it was her? A 7-year-old girl took your whole crew down. The gun is almost bigger than her. But the first part of their new plan is to insert this USB into the police chief's computer, which, to be honest, I don't know what use that has to y'all, but careful now. I'm not gonna ask why all 13 of you are carrying guns in a country where guns are pretty much banned or how you even got your hands on such firepower. Instead, I will politely ask you to leave.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I would have been like, y'all can go straight on through.
Pretty much, they got footage on the side of the police station and asked them to confirm Majima's identity. But we're not really worried about that right now. DA is going to handle that. What Chisato was thinking about was the text she saw on Teach's phone. Something about a bar forbidden. She thought it was the head of DA texting him about shutting down the cafe, so she told everyone else. They looked it up and turned out it was a bar. So now they think the messages were more personal and they were actually going on dates. So the next time he stepped out, they followed him there, and when they saw Shinji pulled up, they was like, what? He's gay? I don't know what type of relationship they have, to be honest. Every time they're together, they're talking about Chisato. But at that point, they were ready to leave. They felt like they were intruding. But funny enough, Chisato overheard them talking about her. And this is when she finds out Shinji was the one she's been looking for all this time. She thanks him for what he's done and tells him how she wants to use the time she was given to save others. You can tell that's not what he wants to hear.
He wants her to go on the murder spree.
Maybe they are gay.
Oh my god.
Toxic relationship, huh? But this whole argument they had is Teach saying they should give Chisato all the time she needs. But Shinji was like, nah, remember the promise we made? And the promise was to raise Chisato and nurture her talent for killing. And you know, I usually don't like the overly happy characters because sometimes the most depressing thing can happen to them and they'll still be jumping around like everything is sunshine and rainbows. But for some reason, I don't feel that way towards Chisato. But anyway, some time passes. They've been racking up money for the cafe with their all new shit cakes. And people are really buying them individually. Those are some big ass turds. You can share that. And now they're going to bring it home and have it sit in the fridge for a month. But Chisato left the cafe because she has a little doctor's appointment, but she got a little caught up. And this is a funny situation because I'm like 90% sure Chisato can blitz this dude if she really wanted. I think she's just playing along for right now. But he then asks her if she remembers when they first met. And we see that backstory, and my goodness, was she a demon. Non-stop
Chisato was-
movement, taking everyone down one by
Chisato
one.
was
Like,
a
look at her.
demon.
This is the most serious we've ever seen her. All they're seeing is a red blur. Each bullet they hear, they know is another man down. This will be terrifying. What else can you do but believe there's monsters roaming the same earth as you? And even when he blew up the tower, she just stood there. No reaction. How they survived that? No clue. But turns out, Majima was also a patient at Allen Institute. So he was like, listen, that Allen Institute you cherish so much isn't all smiles and roses. They supported you because they saw your talent for killing. None of that helped the world bullshit. Well, time for me to leave. Done outplayed Takano. Good thing you're half Spider-Man because she probably would have shot you.
That was clean though.
To handle Chisato with care. Her days of playing make-believe has to come to an end.
But Dr. Yamagishi says it's nothing more than vitamins, so...
You got something different today.
Huh? Scumbag.
Damn it, bro.
They made me want to
just...
just...
got my goat. And remember that mechanical heart she has? Yeah, well, they're changing a few settings.
Chisato! What'd I do? From now on, please answer calls from me within 3 rings. If you don't, I will conclude that you are in danger and will proceed to your location immediately. Okay, sure. So try and answer right away.
And you know what time it is. She got on the move.
Alright then, time to get to work.
Got on the move.
But by the time she got there, it was already done. She overcharged the heart's battery and made it impossible to ever charge again. And now she only has 2 months left to live. And there's no replacing it either. The Allen Institute are the only ones who can create something like this.
Where are you going? I'll find that nurse and kill her.
But Chisato tells her to calm down, saying even before this, she didn't have much time. The mechanical heart wasn't perfect. It was only able to keep her alive until she was 18. All they did was cut her time down by a few months. Let's just go home. So now she's on her way to DA. The chairman says she has something for her. The camera. No idea what's on it yet, but she also tells us that they're about to commence a large-scale operation to suppress Majima. They found his hideout and said she should join them. At least become a proper Lycoris before you die. Yeah, go sit on a pile. Now these two are back, handing Takana a letter from DA, which are orders telling her to return. But the time she spent with Chisato was way better than anything DA can offer. At this point, she didn't want to go back. And while Kurumi and Teacher were alone, they were talking about the promise he made with Shinji and how he would raise Chisato and nurture that killing talent. But it was the time he spent with her that made him think of her more as than some mission. So Kurumi came to the conclusion that Shinji is probably connected with Majima some way.
What?
I don't know how she got that from that story, but Takano was listening the whole time, thinking if she gets her hands on Majima, they'll be able to learn more about Chisato's heart. She wasn't planning on going back to DA, but if it gives them even the slightest chance of helping Chisato, she'll go back in a heartbeat.
Sonic ride or die.
Starting in April, a legal weapons deal, then the Metro assault, the Lycoris murders, a goddamn assault in a police station, all of it traced back to one man, Majima. 10 years ago, he was in our country during the radio tower incident. And now he's crawled back out of whatever hole he's been hiding in, playing the same damn game. But this time, we know his hideout. Find that son of a bitch.
They in formation.
But Takana has something else to do first. This is one of Majima's guys. She came here to question him on if Shinji was involved with them. No, listen here, you fat son of a bitch. I already got fired once for killing too many people, and you know what? I kinda like my life outside of DA. So please, give me a reason to get fired again. Takana, that was wonderful. I wasn't expecting a Batman interrogation out of you. But look at this. Majima somehow got his hands on Shinji. Robota told him that Chisato has some kind of connection with him. Not exactly sure what the plan is yet, but by the time DA got there, he was long gone. So he started a Zoom call. Long story short, he was like, yeah, I'm about to do a radio
Ain't
tower
gonna lie.
part 2. That,
Majima be
whatever that
he be
is
moving.
getting blown up. And he's really doing this on his grand
broad
opening. Couldn't
daylight,
even get a
though.
day to admire it.
In broad daylight.
Yo, I got a little message for y'all. While other countries in the world are fighting against terrorism and warfare, this country's in a peaceful bubble. Is it because Japanese people are just so much better than the rest? Yeah, right. This isn't the safe place you think it is. Everything that happens has been covered up. They're selling you peace filled with lies and deception. And you know what? I just can't put up with that, so that's why I scattered guns like this all over the prefecture. So this is what he did with those 1,000 guns.
He started turning this into Hunger Games.
And they're stupid enough to use it. Dude was like, ooh, a toy. And what, accidentally aimed at the cop's head? Then this guy calls in. I'm assuming he's the boss because he's telling the head of DA what to do. And he tells her that she needs to deploy Chitaso.
Send out weapon X.
But Chitaso also gets a call on her personal phone showing Shinji being tied up. She has the head of DA telling her she needs to come in, while Robota on her personal phone is telling her that if she comes anywhere near the tower, they'll murk Shinji. And Robota took some extra precautions, had like 4 drones outside the cafe, so it's time to load up. Got Teach out of retirement for this. Now, during this whole thing, Kurumi was actually leaving the country. Chitaso wanted to close down the cafe, and without them to protect her, she had to leave. But that's besides the point. Kurumi was doing some digging, and I mean some intense digging. She found a woman with the Allen logo, used the reflection in her eyes to find where she's at, went back in time 10 years, analyzed her skeleton frame to see where she was in the present, and pretty much she found out there was a second mechanical heart, an approved version too. So she called Takana and told her what she found. Takana also filled her in on when she went down to the cafe, neither Chitaso or Teach were there, and both their phones were left behind. Kurumi checked it out and found the picture that was sent to Chitaso. Also tracked down Teach's car and saw them heading to the old radio tower, so you know what Takana did?
They was doing a lot these last few episodes.
Going on, we gotta go back up Chitaso. And good thing she did, cause all they found up there were dead bodies of innocent people. That's when Majima hops back on the big screens, and not gonna lie, DA, y'all are trash. Y'all must have been lying about the whole super powerful AI you have. Whole time they're really just flexing ChatGPT, because no way a singular guy behind a computer screen can hack the screens over and over again. But that's when they show everyone the live feed, making it seem that the Lycoris are the bad guys, making it seem that they will do anything to keep peace, even if it means taking out innocent people. So you know, after hearing something like that, the citizens feel as if they need to do something, as if they need to fight back. But now it's time for Chitaso to stop playing along. Was running through that building with a new gun equipped too, using the shotgun this time, until she lost it.
Wow.
Got a nerf her somehow. And she really be doing the same thing Batman be doing. You can tell me all you want, these guys aren't dying from this, but I won't believe it. I seen what those non-lethal bullets can do. You over here head tapping everyone with it. But anyway, she enters the building, and this is really just a rerun of what happened last time, taking down all your guys one by one. And when she finally finds Shinji is when Majima reveals himself. Close all the shutters, making it hard to see, because that's the only way you can beat her. If she can't see, she can't dodge. But just like how Chitaso has excellent eyes, Majima has excellent ears. Bro is dead ass using echolocation to know where she's at. And it's funny because I count this as a loss. She's in your domain and still countered you. You're lucky you wasn't fighting Takana. She would have instantly pulled the trigger. But this is the section of the show where the villain is like, you know what? We'll make a good team, you and I. And it never works out. I don't know why they choose to do this every time. But look who arrives.
Biggest dog.
Wonder Woman. I don't know how she broke through them shutters. Bitch. 3 kicks straight to the skull. This is no longer a 1v1, by the way. We jumping you. And he was doing good using the darkness against them, but Chitaso straight up grabs his collar, fired the gun right next to both ears, and look at that. That razor sharp earring is out of commission. Proceeds to line him up while Takana restrains him. So then they catch up to Shinji, and he was like, did you kill Majima? You saw what he did to your hero. Did you kill him for me? And the moment she said no, his whole act switched. Was saying things like, who do you think you are? Some kind of saint? You could use your talent to actually contribute to humanity. I didn't repair a broken doll
With
just
a
for you to
headshot
waste it
at
on
him.
some useless fantasy. And Takana's just listening to all this, and when he takes her gun, switches to live ammo, takes a shot, and you just see Takana in the back.
Stop it! The next shot will go between your eyes.
And this is when everything starts to make sense. Majima thought he was using Shinji, but it was really the other way around. He used getting kidnapped to lure Chisato here, hoping she'll finally kill after seeing what Majima did to her hero. But the only thing Takana wants is what's inside that briefcase. That's where the second mechanical heart is. Or so we thought. He unbuttons his shirt and reveals that he put it inside himself. The only way she can survive is by killing him. But of course, she can't bring herself to do it.
Man, come on now.
But you know
Monica said, walk him
Takana was
down.
gonna pop him without a second thought.
I'll rip that heart out with my bare hands if I have to!
But now this lady is back. And when Chisato was about to help, she realized she only has live ammo. They go flying out the window, and shout out to this random beam in this conveniently placed location. But these two are trying their absolute hardest to get Chisato to shoot, but at this point, she really had no other choice. Takana tells her to go while she handles this. And the next thing we see is the lady laid out on the floor with Takana in the back, and just look at her. She don't care about that cherished life bullshit. She wants that nigga dead. If he's alive, that means Chisato doesn't get the heart. But with the way Chisato is, she doesn't want to take a life to extend hers, and Takana's just gonna have to accept that. So that's when Kurumi and Mizuki arrive. And turns out they received a request from an unknown source to rescue the Lycorises. I can take a pretty good guess on who that was. And not gonna lie,
of course
I completely forgot they got exposed. But since that happened, DA got word from the higher-ups to dispose of all the licorice that was caught on video. And turns out there's an organization just like DA, but like for dudes. And they're the ones who would take them out. Now, the ones who are actually there have no clue what's going on. They've been ordered to stand by. So Kurumi gave them a USB to plug in so she can fix the DA's AI. Meanwhile, this team is still fighting Majima's men, and it went from 0 to 100 real quick. Bro just casually has a minigun, and not gonna lie, they were getting worked. Stood no chance until our squad pulled up. Standing on his body, popped him again. Jumped down one to the gut, caught him while he was falling and put one in the jaw. Takana takes out both arms, shoulder checked him, kicked to the jaw, and restrained him by his neck. But that's when that other organization finally showed up. And who designed this layout? Put the USB slot in the worst area possible. But with the USB plugged in, she was able to find Robota and stop the broadcast. Also found his whole location and had the police bust down his door. Then she sent out her own broadcast and pretty much made it seem like everything that happened was all just some show for the grand opening of the new tower. So since things were able to be covered up, the male Lycorises were called off. So yeah, everything was fine.
And Chisato would have put them down.
Of course. Yes, it's a 1v1 again. And just look at her. At this point, she's just annoyed. But then this guy proceeds to start a timer for a bomb. Talking about something, we have to settle the score. Without your partner, you...
This was hard. This fight was tough, though.
I thought it was done right there and then. Dude got hit with 15 bullets, but this time, he came with body armor. Get off me! Grabs the collar, headbutt, and
they start going crazy.
Aim a little higher, please. Or lower. That'll work too. She dodges all the bullets, kicked them in the mouth, and that's when we see Takana scaling up the tower. She not leaving her behind. But while they were fighting, Chisato got put in a very unfortunate position. The guy threw a grenade while she was on the glass, but it don't even matter because she ran up that bitch. Hit him twice, but here we go. Her heart started acting up. They had to nerf her. But I was actually surprised when Majima handed her a drink and was like, alright, let's take a break. I kind of respect that. He doesn't want no easy.
That's why
he accomplished his goal of exposing DA. Even if it gets covered up, it's still going to be a lingering thought in everyone's head. And now the final thing he wants to do is even the score with Chisato, but only if she's at her best. And then we see Shinji again when someone confronts him. It was Teach himself. Swole ass nigga, when we see this butt. But he was like, so it was her. She's the one who assaulted Chisato. She gonna try to attack him, but come on, bro. Get that little ass kitchen knife out of here. He knocks her across the room and just emptied the mag. Proceeds to walk up on Shinji and was like, yeah, we used to be something, but I'll do anything for Chisato.
Teach real.
And you know, Chitaso and Majima was having a little convo, and not gonna lie, Majima don't make no type of sense. He was like, yeah, I'm only here to balance things out. I don't really see myself as a villain, I just support the weaker side. If DA was the underdog, I'll be on their side. Like, bro,
what? Are you talking
Nothing
about,
but
bro?
a bunch of nonsense just spewed out your mouth. Anyways, 15 minutes left on the clock. It's about time they resume the fight. And pretty much, he was trying to get to that phone to stop the timer, but he kicks it away and got that left shoulder good. Takina runs in and Chitaso uses that slight distraction to drag him down with her. Shot the dude 3 times in the head. She was ready to die with him. But the goat wasn't gonna let her fall. She ran across the glass, tied her up, jumped on the ledge, and held on for dear life.
On that kid. It's
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
You've gotta be kidding me.
Not gonna lie, you're not mad enough. All that work over fireworks, I'd bring that nigga back to life and pop him again, cause no way. And by the way, all those guns that were scattered around is still out there. They were only able to gather about 500 of the 1,000 guns, so some of the citizens got their hands on. Alright, bro, are we serious? First you survive a direct RPG, and then a fall from how high? Do you see how big this building is? Doesn't matter where you fall, you shouldn't be
durability off the
dude
charts,
has
bro.
on bandages like that's supposed to make it make sense. Now you should be splattered on the pavement. And that whole thing with Chitaso's heart, everyone else thinks that Shinji was bluffing and the heart was actually inside the briefcase the whole time. But we know the truth, and so does Kurumi. Teach Merc Shinji took his heart, asked Kurumi to make a deal for the surgery, and lied about what happened to everyone else. So they was like, you know what? Let's go to Hawaii.
Right, let's go to Hawaii.
But yeah, man, that's that. One of the best random shows I've ever clicked on.
Quite literally,
just
so
cross our
random
fingers and hope we get that season 2.
It's. I think season 2 is out, bro. I swear I was at MomoCon. There was a lady dressed as Chitaso. What in the world just happened on my screen? But yeah, she was dressed as a licorice. She was dressed as Big Chi. It's crazy though, cause like this, it's a random show. You would never thought it was like that, bro. You would never thought it was like that. And I love it. I love it. I love it. One of my favorite randoms. But with that being said, go watch Lycoris Recoil. Go do that, please. I beg you. With that being said, my boy Kevin channel gonna be linked down below along there's the video. Make sure you go show some love, hit the sub button, all the good stuff. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.